Hello everyone, my name is Tim Burgess and welcome to this podcast where we talk about things that are going on in the world and we have a discussion about them. Some of these topics are problems that we will come up with some possible solutions for. Welcome to A Dog's Talk. Hello, and welcome back, everyone. My name is Tim Burgess, and thank you so much for joining me on the 6th episode of A Dog's Talk. This is really something for me. This is the 6th episode that I have released. I'm very happy to be releasing it. I'm very excited to be releasing it. I hope you all who have been joining me like it. I hope I haven't been bored. I hope I haven't been boring so far. But this is a real honor to be releasing episode 6 of A Dog's Talk. I got a fun show for you today. Unfortunately, I do have some bad news. This is going to be my last episode that I release for this podcast for a little bit. I'm going back to college next week, unfortunately, but I'm also very excited to go back to school. But, I'm going back to school. So unfortunately, I will not be able to do any episodes there, only because I got to focus on school and I got to focus on some other stuff as well. But nevertheless, this is the last episode, not of the season. I'm just going to I'm taking a little break, a few month break. And I'll tell you a little bit more about, what I'm going to do in the off season later on in the show, before I close the show out. But I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who, if you have been around since episode 1, thank you so much for coming back and continuously listening to my episodes. I really do appreciate it. And for anyone that, is just joining in or anything, I really do appreciate you taking the time to listen to my episodes and to listen to my annoying voice. I really do appreciate it, and thank you very, very much. But, this is not the end of the show. This is not the end of the season. It's just a little break for me right now, and I hope you will all stick with me through the break. But more on that to come. We got a jam-packed show for you, and we're just going to get right into it. So, recently, and this was the date of... It was Sunday night, this past Sunday night. You can check me on the exact number date. I went down to Boston into Fenway Park to listen and watch a Zac Brown Band concert. Now, like I have said before, if you've listened to the other episodes, you'll know that I'm a big country guy. A big country guy. So, we're going to talk about Zac Brown Band. And, they deserve to be talked about because they are amazing. So, the concert was fantastic. It was at Fenway Park. If you don't know what Fenway Park is, it's where the Red Sox play. It's the home of the Red Sox. And I believe it is the oldest ballpark in the United States for an MLB that is still being used for the MLB today. So Zac Brown Band was amazing. There was a whole bunch of people there. There was a lot of people there. I was actually kind of shocked. Of course, no one was masked, and I'm assuming everyone had the vaccine, but we don't actually know. But it was jam packed. There's people everywhere. The stage was huge. It was out in center field. It was huge. You had people that were, on the field listening to the concert and stuff. I can't imagine how expensive those seats were. I was up in what's called grandstand, so I was just kind of up in the first base line, just kind of up a little bit. But my seats were fine. I really did like my seats. And so the concert was really nice. It was loud, both with the band and the fans. There was one part that really stuck out to me was when they were Chicken Fried is their last song usually that they play. And, of course, everyone loves it. Everyone knows it. If you don't know it, go check it out. Chicken Fried by Zac Brown Band. That was the last song they played. And it's it gets to be a little patriotic. And so during that part, they brought out a service member who I'm guessing lived in Boston, or around there. And that was the loudest part of the concert. Everyone went crazy when he came out. And then when he saluted, because one of the lines is salute the ones who die, and he saluted, and everyone went crazy again. So it was kind of insane. It was kind of fun. It was fun. And I really enjoyed the concert. It was, Zac Brown Band is a very talented group. I didn't, however, enjoy so much the little cover medley that they played. Obviously because it's not their songs, and that's what I was there for. I was there to hear them, but it was fine, but hearing them sing their songs was, because I'd never been to a Zac Brown Band concert before. So hearing them for the first time in concert was very, I'll use the term magical, I guess. But anyway, yeah, so Zac Brown Band was very, very good. I've been a fan of their music for a long time, just have never been, I've never gone to a concert or anything like that for them. I don't go to many concerts, but I have been to a few. I'm glad I went to Zac Brown Band. They were amazing. They're electric. And they hyped up the crowd. They're very entertaining. You didn't get bored. It's just that one part I was not a fan of was the cover medley part. But they sang the songs well. But obviously, I'm there to hear their voices, or to hear their songs, the ones that I really, really know. So yeah, that's the only critique I have. But other than that, it was fantastic. It was the stage was very huge. You could see it from where I was sitting, which was a little far back, because they did look like ants if you just looked at them. But looking at the big jumbotrons that they had, it was pretty cool. They have pictures on it, or of the concert, all over, the Fenway Park Instagram, the Zac Brown Band Instagram, so you can go check out see what the stage looked like and see what it looked like, from like what the, if you're looking up from the stage, of course the cell phone lights came out. The cell phone lights had to come out. So that was cool. I of course partaked in the raising my cell phone up and, swaying it side to side to make it look cool. This was actually, and then the cool other part was that there were a lot of people that I knew that were at this concert. There usually are, that people, I wouldn't say like New England's a small place, but, you get to know people, especially when you go to a college in New England. Some of my hometown friends were there. Some of my college friends were there. I didn't go with them. But I just saw them posting about, Zac Brown Band and stuff. So yeah, it was a very good concert. Definitely recommend going if you're a fan of Zac Brown Band, and even if you're not a fan of Zac Brown Band, I definitely recommend that you go, research their concerts. I don't think they're coming back to Boston, so if you live in Boston, you're out of luck. But research their concerts, and I would definitely go. I would definitely recommend going to a Zac Brown Band concert. And then if you don't know their songs, definitely go check out their songs, and then you can decide if you want to go to a concert or not. All right. I'm going to squeeze in a break right here. And then when I come back, we're going to have a let's talk about the Paralympics and what's wrong with broadcasting it right after this break. Welcome back, everyone. So we're going to move right into the Let's Talk. So today's Let's Talk is kind of a serious one, and it kind of makes me upset to talk about it, that, because we shouldn't have to talk about it, but we are. So I entitled it, and it's kind of a long title, but it kind of gives you the gist of what we're going to talk about today, and it's the wrong in not showing the Paralympics as much as the normal Olympics. Now, obviously, I'm going to say right now, I get that, NBC, who covered the normal Olympics, has just been away has just been on vacation for 2 weeks, covering the normal Olympics. But, it does kind of, and I'm not going to lie to you, I don't watch as much of the Paralympics as I do the normal Olympics, all right? But, it's not because I don't want to. It's because, I don't have the time, and also the fact that I just watched basically 2 weeks of Olympics and cannot take a third. But, and then there's the other reason of it's not getting broadcasted on prime time, So how are you supposed to find it? So, let's dive right into this. So that's my personal thing on it, if it was on prime time, if it was on every night, like the normal Olympics, I would definitely watch it, because they're still Olympians. They're actual, I'm not going to say that they're stronger than the other ones, but they've had to overcome way more than normal Olympians, with their, disability, with their, whatever's up with them. They've had to overcome a lot, and they deserve to get shown to the American public. Their stories need to be heard, and they need to be watched. Now, so with that out of the way, let's talk about, let's compare the two. So the normal Olympics are on 2 weeks. There's 2 weeks of them, and I think there's only 1 week of the Paralympics, but I'm not completely sure on that. But anyway, so I get that people become tired of watching the normal Olympics. Like I said before, I get tired of watching the Olympics because, it's 2 weeks of jam-packed excitement, and, that's really all people can take. But at the same time, the Paralympics deserve to get the same amount of attention. Now, the other thing is, like I said before, NBC, who covered these Olympics, basically takes 2 weeks off to cover the Olympics. Now, it could be that they don't want to take another third week off or 4 weeks off, or however long the Paralympics go for. Or it could be a money thing, that they're worried that, if they cover the Paralympics like they did the normal Olympics, that unfortunately they won't get, the money that they normally would from you watching the normal Olympics. And so they think, why waste the time and money and just go back to normal shows and stuff. So I get that. And I researched how you can watch the Paralympics, and as of right now, so NBC still covers it. The company NBC still covers it, but it's kind of only it's on 3 things. So it's on Peacock, it's on NBCOlympics.com, and it's on the NBC Sports app, which also the normal Olympics were on those as well, or at least certain sports were on those as well. But it's just it is sad because they do have to overcome a lot more with their disability or their illness or whatever it is that they have. And it is kind of sad that they don't get the same amount of attention that normal Olympic athletes do. Now, do they get sponsors? I'm not sure. Do they get, I don't know. I'm not completely sure about what happens after the Paralympics. If they continue, like some of these other athletes that are in the normal Olympics go on to, world championships and all that. So I'm not sure what the Paralympians do after, if they also do like Paralympic or para world championships or whatever. But it does sadden me to know and to see that that they don't get the same amount of attention as the normal Olympians do. And I'm sure they're sad about that, but I'm also sure that they get it in a way. But it's just the sad part about, having a disability, having something, that isn't normal, that puts you in the Paralympics. You want your story heard, and that is completely, we all get that, and you're there for the United States or whatever country you're there for. So obviously, but I'm going to speak like obviously more towards the United States. If you're on the U.S. Paralympic team, you should be getting the same amount of recognition that the normal Olympians get, because we should all be treating people fair and equal. Everyone should be fair and equal. It doesn't matter what you look like, what religion you observe, where you're from, if you have a disability or not. We should all be treated the same. Some of us need a little more help than others. Like, me growing up in school, I needed more help with, math. And at one point it was English. But mostly math. I did have a learning disability, but so I've learned to overcome that, and I've learned from that, and I've learned that I was different at that time. But then there's people that live differently. If they have like a mental disease or something, that puts them in the disability category, that live with this for the rest of their lives. And it is sad. It is very sad. We can use technology to help, research ways to fix all this. But as of right now, it's sad. And, I kind of lost my train of thought. But anyway, I just believe me, and I'm sure there's many, many other people that believe that they should all have the same amount of attention that normal Olympians do. All right, they should all have the same amount of attention that normal Olympians do. Kind of a side note, and I know people are kind of done about hearing what I'm looking at on my screen. Apparently I've been very low this past few minutes, and I apologize. My brother did come in and in the middle of me recording and kind of make me, lose, where I was sitting and stuff, and kind of my train of thought. So I apologize if that last segment was kind of low. This is kind of going to be the volume I'm at for the rest of the episode. So if you have your car stereo up to hear me and I just became very loud, I apologize. But like I said, I'm still learning, but I think this is going to be the way I can be, more heard, because I have noticed on other podcasts that I am very low, because I've been sitting back too much. But now I am back, pretty close to the microphone, and this right here I think is pretty good. So anyway, so that's my view on the Paralympics and what should happen. Now obviously no change is going to come of it, but at least I can say something, and at least I can help in a way that I put my thoughts out there and see what others think and see what others believe in. So in that regards, if you agree with me about the Paralympic thing, and even if you don't, tell me why or why not on my Twitter at tbirders25. Tell me why or why not you agree with what I'm saying about the Paralympics and the coverage that they get. We're going to take a little break right now. When I come back, we're going to do the last two parts of this episode. They're kind of fun. I think they're fun to talk about. I hope they're fun to listen to. One of them is going to be just about podcasting. Not about me podcasting so much as, the podcasting career in general. And then later on, we're going to talk about the off-season plans for me and what I'm going to be doing during the off-season while I'm away at college. So stick around for that, and I'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So let's move right along, and we're going to talk about just podcasting in general. Also, I don't know, I can't hear myself. Anyway, I'll have the producers fix that for next time. Anyway, so I always thought of podcasting as something not of interest. It never really appealed to me in my younger ages. And now that I'm doing a podcast, now I try and listen to other people and learn from them and see what they do that I don't. So kind of just a funny story. I was walking the beach that I live near, and I saw a sticker on a trash can, but you're supposed to put it on your car, obviously. But it kind of just got me thinking of, this movement of podcasting. The sticker said, "I know everything from listening to podcasts," and that kind of just gave me a little chuckle because I first saw that on the day after I released my first episode. So I always thought that was interesting, and it's true. It's not like radio. We're not live when we record podcasts. Obviously, we're not live because I just said record. So podcasting is kind of just like a different way of getting information, a different way of, passing the time in the car instead of listening to music all the time. Because if you're like me and you listen to the same song, the same playlist over and over again, it does get old after a while. And then with podcasting, with me, I try to release a new episode every week. And then for other people, they release a new episode every day. So I think that there's a big movement in podcasting, and I think a lot more people are looking for new podcasts, are looking to, listen to podcasts instead of music. So I think podcasts are going to be the big thing coming up here in the next few years. Obviously people are going to still listen to music. I enjoy listening to music, but sometimes I just like to take a break from listening to music and just listen to someone, speak on a topic, especially comedians. Like, I would do something with being a comedian, but I'm not that funny. So unfortunately, I can't be a comedian on a podcast show. Maybe one day. But, I just, that kind of was my inspiration to start podcasting was, I had such an interest in listening to some other people. And, I just was like, I could do that. I could sit in front of a microphone, record my voice, and release it to the world. I always thought I was gonna be a good YouTuber or something, but obviously that didn't happen. I did release a few vlogs, and I thought I was gonna be a vlogger for a little bit, but I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Editing video, especially on iMovie, which is what I use most of the time, is very hard. It is very hard. It's very time consuming. And I just said, it's not worth my time. This is actually very much simpler to do. It's just audio. I don't have to worry about, where I'm looking or where my face is or anything like that. I just have to worry about how I sound. And now I'm still learning how to sound good and stuff. Like, I'm watching like the little lines. I'm not sure what they're called, but the little lines as I'm recording and making sure I always look over every once in a while to make sure I'm not too loud for you guys listening to me. And as of right now, I'm pretty good. But anyway, so I don't have to worry about, looking good or anything like that, except when I post like a promotion on the TikTok, which reminder, I now have a TikTok, or not me. It's not me personally. It's the show's TikTok. So make sure you go check that out. And I'll put that in the description below. But anyway, that's not the point, because I've just noticed that podcasting is becoming a profession instead of a side gig, because back in the day, a few years ago, I always thought, people just did podcasting on the side of having a normal job. But that's not true, because people are now having a career just as a podcaster. And it's, it's very good to see, because podcasting can be very profitable if you're doing it just for money. Now, I'm going to admit it right here, knowing from experience, it is very, very hard to start a podcast and try and get it to a big audience and try and get it known. That's what I'm trying to do right now. You have to spend some of your personal money. You have to spend some time working and seeing who can help you with getting your show out to more people. And then there's the fact that, you have to make sure you sound good and that you're interesting to listen to, so people will actually listen to you. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to learn from everything that, I've done in the past. I'm trying to, this is just me personally, but I'm trying to, promote my show more. So people, cause, I don't get discouraged on people thinking that I sound bad or my show's not interesting. I get my theory on why people aren't listening to the show is because they don't know about it. And that's like the big thing, is people don't know about these certain shows, these certain smaller shows that are just coming out or have been out for a little bit, because it is hard. There's so many, the market for podcasts is so big right now. There's so many shows being released because more and more people are falling in love with, recording their voice and releasing it on platforms for podcasting. So yeah, it's becoming more of a profession, and it's very competitive obviously now. Back a few years ago, it wasn't that, you had a few famous people that were podcasting and that was it. But now it's becoming more and more people are listening to podcasts. More and more people are investing their time in creating and listening to podcasts. And that's something that's really magical. And I think, it's very interesting to study and to watch and, all that stuff. I also kind of a fun thing is I've noticed, from looking at some of the famous people that have podcasts, like I don't listen to Dr. Phil's podcast, but I know he has one. But I just saw this the other day. But a lot of people that have really popular and good podcasts use the Shure microphone. It's kind of like, it's kind of like a little cylinder. It mostly comes in black, the color black. And it's a very good microphone. It's a very expensive microphone, but it's a very high quality microphone. I obviously do not have that. Maybe at some point I do have an interest in getting it, but as of right now, I just have my Blue Yeti, which is, not bad at all. It is actually really good at picking up my voice. Sometimes it's a little too good, but it's actually really good. But some of these people have invested millions and millions of dollars into the equipment that they use. There's beginning to be more and more equipment just for podcasting that makes it so your voice sounds very, very good. I aim for what I'm calling the podcasting voice, or the podcasting sound, which means that, a lot of these podcast people sound, not robotic, not fake. They have a great quality microphone and a great tone to their voice where, they're interesting to listen to and you don't get tired of listening to them. So that's what I'm aiming to do. And, people just love that Shure microphone. Those Shure microphones, and how you spell that is Shure. Those microphones are everywhere. I see them everywhere. People have them everywhere. I wish I had one. I don't know. There's one model that's like the best one. I'm not sure. It's like the SB something. I don't know. But it's very good. It's what most people have. It's very, very good. And, at some point I will probably get that microphone to improve the show, improve how I sound and stuff. But as of right now, I just got this one, but people love that microphone. Sorry. So anyway, we're going to move away from podcasting, and we're going to move into the final section of the show. And that's kind of just me going to be explaining, what I'm going to be doing in the off season. And, I'm counting this as the off season, me going away to college and me, not releasing episodes every week for a little bit, like just a few months. My plan right now, okay? I want to make this clear to everyone that is a fan of the show, that listens to the show. My plan right now is to come home in either November, December, and release a few episodes to continue the season. Because the season's not done yet. I only have 6 episodes. I would like to reach like 10, I think. But yeah, so that's kind of my plan right now. So in the off season, I'm considering this the off season. In the off season, I'll be working to better the show's audience, to get more people, to get the word out about the show, and to get more people to come in and listen to it. That's what I'll be working on. And the show's message. With a bigger audience, I can do more stuff. I can do live shows. I can do more charity episodes. I can do more stuff. So that I'll be working very hard at getting that done. That's my top priority, is to get more people to listen to the episodes that I've already submitted, already uploaded, all that. So that's my goal. That's my main goal in the off season, is to get that done. And I hopefully I can. I'm still working on it. I'm spending some money, not a whole bunch, but I'm spending some. And it's all going, it's all working out and stuff. But yeah, so that's my main goal in the off season right there. I will be improving my own skills. Now, granted, I'm not going to have my microphone with me, but I'll be researching videos. I love watching YouTube videos of how to do things, especially podcasting. I've been watching podcasting, how to do's. That sounded weird, but how to do like podcasting, how to edit better, how to sound. And so I'll be researching and taking note and learning more about that. So when I come back in December or November, I will be sounding fantastic, and I'll be way more interesting and will engage more people. Because like I said before, I would love to do good by this show. I would love to do good. And I would love to have you, the listeners, involved in everything that goes on in this show. Because it's not just me. It's going to get boring if it's just me behind the microphone talking to you in my weird voice with voice cracks every once in a while. My goal is to, and it's kind of a big goal, is to involve you, the audience, and and that's what I want to do. And like I said before, I have a plan for live shows where I'll record the show and you can go back and listen to it when it's all like edited and stuff, but like the actual recording of it will be live. And you guys can ask me questions and all that stuff, all that fun stuff. But I'm not going to do that right now because I'm probably going to get like one person that watches my show. But in the future, that's kind of my plan. So like I'm dreaming big for the show. All right. I am dreaming big. I'm hoping that, I can get more people. I can get, I can do more stuff. So, I'll be really working to do that in the off season. I'm going to create a better outline for upcoming episodes and then the next season of the show. Because I just kind of feel like that I went right into, podcasting without having like everything written out and what I'm going to do. Because let me tell you this, I plan these episodes like a day before I record them, which is kind of makes sense in terms of the show, because it's kind of, these are all kind of current events that I talk about anyway. But I had an outline of like the topics I'm gonna discuss, but I haven't stuck to that. I've only really done like the Let's Talk segment, which is a great segment. It's a very important segment, but I did say I was gonna talk about TikTok. I was gonna talk about what my generation's doing in the world, and I'm still going to. I just have to kind of create a better outline, and maybe like for the next upcoming episodes, I will say in that outline, talk about climate change and what your current generation is doing, and then I'll go out and find information on that. So that's kind of what I'm going to do for the outline part of it. I'm just going to plan. I love planning things. I love writing things down. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing more of in the off season. And, I'm hoping to come back better than ever with all these episodes and stuff. in the meantime, for updates, for funny posts, for just posts in general about the show, if you do like the show, please consider following the Instagram, following the new TikTok, following the new Facebook page. I've created all these things for the audience, for the listeners, to stay engaged with me, because right now it's just me working on this show. So, if you want to stay engaged with me, follow all the show's Instagram, the show's TikTok, the show's Facebook page. I say show in front of that because it's not my personal, it's the show's. And then follow my personal Twitter. All of those will be in the description of this episode. And they're not in the description of the show. They're just going to be in the description of this episode. But yeah, I'm excited to actually have that TikTok. I think I'm going to do some fun stuff with that. At least that's my plan right now. But anyway, yeah, so if you want to stay in touch with me, if you want to stay updated with the show and what's going to happen, go like, follow, subscribe to all of those. And yeah, so that's all I have for today. I'm hoping and praying that, I can get more people to listen to the episodes that I've already released. And then I'm hoping that anyone who's like just joining us or who's gone through all the episodes with me, I'm hoping that you will, stay involved with the show, because it is coming back. I'm not just going to stop. I do have to stop for a few months because I have to focus on schoolwork and my education, but I will be back. And then summer of 2022 is going to be huge. We are going to do some fun stuff. I have some big plans for the summer of 2022. So yeah, I hope you all stay involved with the show. I hope you will all stay, hopeful that I'm going to come back, because guess what? I'm going to come back. And I'm going to come back better than ever, hopefully. So I thank you all for joining me on this episode and for all the other episodes. I thank anyone who listens to the show in general. Thank you so much. This has been a very interesting journey. This is just the start. This is just the beginning of what I'm hoping to be is a fantastic show, a popular show, a show that you can really connect with. Because there's not many of those that you can do, that you can connect with, like personally, or like, be involved with. Like, there's not many shows out there, or at least there's not many shows that are popular that you know about that do that. So that's what I'm hoping this show does, is keeps you involved, keeps you engaged, and hopefully has a meaningful impact on your life. And I hope that you enjoy listening to me. I know my voice is, like I said before, is not the best, but I hope that you enjoy listening to me at least a little bit. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this episode, and thank you so much for showing your support on the show. I will see you all on the next episode, which is to be determined on when's coming out. But on all my social media, I will be posting when the next episode is coming out, and I'll be posting updates and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all stay safe in this weird time right now with the Delta variant coming out. We can all do this together as long as you get vaccinated. We can all do this together. Everyone believes in you. You're not alone. Like I've said in past episodes, no one's alone. You need help. Go ask for help. There's always people out there to help you. You just have to find them. So with that being said, everyone, thank you so much for listening to me. Have a safe, happy day. Have a safe, happy few months off. I will see you all on the next episode. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe and help others. Thank you.